give us a rundown, who you are, what you do, and what kind of creative you are, all that good stuff.
Okay, my name is Ricky Jacobs. I'm from West Baltimore. I still reside in West Baltimore. I'm a content creator. Some people might know that I have a podcast, Liquor with Friends, and I also have a virtual like Carcert um, concert series called Carcerts, where I invite different artists from the city and they perform their original music while I drive around the city.
Okay. So, what moment really confirmed for you that like being this creative was like your thing, like that this was like your role?
Well, I've been into art ever since I was little. Like I used to draw and I always been a fan of music. And I used to make music. So, pretty much it wasn't really until like I would say middle school, high school when I learned how to actually record music on a computer at home. You know what I mean? Doing home recordings and stuff like that. So just me transitioning into creating content was something that it was kind of already there, but I just never really applied it and published it, for people to actually see. So I always been creating like ever since I was like walking, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, how did you come up with the idea for both the concert and Liquor with Friends?
Well, drinking right now. I mean, I got, I'm always drinking with my friends, and I drink alone all the time. You know what I mean? So I turned something like that was like a personal hobby for me, and translated it into something more healthier. You know what I mean? I mean, we all know drinking isn't healthy, but having conversations and talking to people is something that I like to do. That's the therapeutic side that's you know, very important to me. So I kind of thought about that like over a period of time. Like it always kind of been brewing on my mind to create a podcast, but I just never really knew like the type of concept that I would implement in it. And one thing about me, I never like to do, even though nothing is really new under the sun, I don't really like to do something that was already done. And I know you got drink champs or whatever, but I think like what I took from that is being less excessive, like with the drinking. It's just more so like it's just an intimate conversation. It's no different than when I pull up to one of the homies' houses after he just got kicked out his girlfriend house, and I got a bottle of Hennessy, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
man, come on, man, let's just talk. What happened, yo? I mean, we just sipping, on whatever, and we just, having a good time, engaging and stuff like that. That's how the podcast came about.
If you could be sponsored by a liquor brand for Liquor with Friends, who would you want it to be?
Um, it, it used to be Hennessy, but that would be cliche. Like, I honestly want to be sponsored by, a homegrown brand, and I've just kind of discovered it's plenty of them here. So, that's one of my goals, for the podcast moving forward, is to partner with a local brand.
Okay. What was your favorite concert that you have done so far?
Mm, Black Star,
Okay.
Black Star, like hands down. Um, because Black Star is like such a cultural icon in the city. And Rider Girl is like one of the most familiar songs, in Baltimore, and the Baltimore club scene. So to actually get to be in his space, talk to him, even like have a like intimate conversation with him prior to doing the concert, him sharing his THC infused champagne, or was one of the sorts. I mean, it was just a vibe, man. I bet I was a fan of that, man. So it's kind of like I don't know. It's just kind of like it's like synonymous to a kid from Chicago in the meet like Common or Kanye West. I mean, I know that might be a far-fetched comparison, but I mean, that's just how I look at our legends in the city. Like they're just that big to me. So to be able to book him was very like that was a moment for me. I think it was a moment for the city as well. It, being as though Carcert is such a new brand, is a new idea. So to get that in the the first phase of it spoke volumes to me, and it kind of told it, for me it kind of defined a lot about myself to me. Yeah.
So when you picking an artist for the Carcerts, how does that go? Are you like, all right, I want this artist and I want them to do this song, or like you pick an artist and they pick whatever song they gonna do?
You hit it right on the money. Like I think the reason why Carcer is working, and I'm not going to take all of the credit, but that is what I do. Like I reach out, I mainly reach out to most of the artists, like my favorite artists that I'm fans of, and I want them to perform the songs that made me a fan of them. So, and I never want to take away nobody's creative freedom. Like if they want to do something else, then by all means do something else. But a lot of times, like the earlier concerts, I was reaching out, picking artists that I like, and like yo, Al Rogers, can you do Crystal Gator? You know what I'm saying? Zadia, can you do Henny on the Pavement? Miss Cam, can you perform Nasty? Like all these songs, I'm a fan of these songs. Like I damn near know the words to these songs. You know what I mean? And that's just the authenticity side of it. Like I'm picking the artists and I'm picking the songs. Like so it's I have a hand in it, like the production of the entire thing. But then there's some artists who I'm not familiar with who might reach out to me, and I like to go back and do my homework because I don't want them to do a song that I might not like. You know what I'm saying? Um, so like they submit music, you know what I mean? And then I just be like, all right, that's good, that's cool. You know what I mean? It's an unbiased platform. Like it's not about how many followers you have. It's not about how many fans, how many supporters, or it's not about clout. It's not about none of that. It's about art and just the organic like process of just being the creative and are you dope? It's just that simple.
All right, so I just want to understand how you finesse the audio for each of these episodes. Being though Baltimore streets are like the worst streets to ever drive on.
Cash at me $100 and I'll tell you.
Oh dang!
Like my
All
phone with
right,
you.
all right. We're gonna
Um,
keep that one in the tuck.
no, I got you. So what I basically do is this. I have a laptop with me, and I plug the microphone into the laptop. Then I run the auxiliary cord into the laptop. So that's how we're able to hear the music playing, right? And then they're performing that, you know what I mean? And I use a program to, record
Yeah.
the vocals. So when that's done, I go home and I mix it, make it sound as clear as possible or whatever. So it's just a basic recording, just like if we was recording a song in the studio, it's the same setup.
All right. Have you had one episode of Carcert that was like going so terribly, but like at the end, once you put your touch on it or once it was edited, it turned out to be so amazing?
Yeah, because like okay, so for instance, sometimes like you just mentioned, the Baltimore has the worst streets known to mankind, and when I hit certain bumps, so I record on my phone. So when I hit certain bumps, whatever like the I guess the front surface of the mount that holds the phone, it might hit the record button as it's recording. So it stopped the recording. So I'm riding around, thinking that it recorded and everything, and it didn't. It stopped the recording. And then in some instances, sometimes there's no way to fix that, but to just record it all over. So I got to spin the bin again. That happened a few times, and that's like the most frustrating thing to happen. It's like sometimes when I hit record the first time, it'd be a good take. The artist got, the energy at their highest. And then I grab the phone like, and when you got some bad news and the other person don't know, they just like, yeah, man, yeah, this shit gonna go. And I'm like, shit, I gotta break this to him. Like, bro, it ain't record. You mind doing it again? And it make me look bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those are one of the trial and errors that I say like I hate that happens. And also I just bought this new mic that doesn't really pick up the vocals that well. So you have some artists that like they perform in like one tone and it's real low. So I mean, it's not their fault. They thinking like, all right, I seen all the other Carcerts, everything is legit. So they just recording how they record, and then I take it home. I check the pickup, see how the audio picked up, and like the waves. You know about the
Yeah.
and vocals. The waves will be like this small. So when you amplify them, all you hear is the background
Mm-hmm.
noise, and it's just like fuck. So I don't know. I do a little bit of noise reduction and some EQing and stuff like that, and it turns out good,
Okay.
decent.
So you're a family man as well. How do you balance, especially with like COVID now? How do you
Yeah.
balance, putting together this content because you still gotta see people in order to do your actual content and like making sure your family is secure as well.
Um, I just like it's just faith, like, and of course, I use my own discretion, like especially like if it's for the most part during COVID, I would, and this is a silly way to assess if you're safe, but I kind of like let's just say I'm doing I'm gonna use T Savage for example. I'm just praying that she is responsible on her end, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she is because she has a child. So I know she's doing. I just use my own discretions based off of other people's circumstances. You know, she has a child. I'm pretty sure she's doing whatever she can to make sure her own is safe and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But if it's just some nigga like, he's dope, but nigga, you outside a lot. We don't have to wait on that. You know what I mean? So a lot of the artists that I was linking up with, I either knew them or I knew they were family oriented. When you put those things together, it's like the sense of responsibility, the sense of urgency and care and consideration is there. So I just, kind of apply that with my faith and use my own discretion. And I'm like, all right, let's do this.
All right. So I know you're the host and you're the audio person for both of these projects. Do you also like edit the video as well, or you have like an external person that does that for you?
All that shit.
You ran all that. Okay.
I don't trust nobody for real. So and I do want a team, but it has to be people like again, I look at you like, do they have something to lose? You know what I mean? I only want to fuck with people that got shit to lose because they not going to jeopardize their reputation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for I don't know, some creative control or whatever the case may be, and and other things. So, but I do everything myself. Okay.
Okay. What impact do you want both the Carcert and Looking with Friends to leave on the community?
The impact I wanted to leave on the community is that it's just okay to do shit with one another. Like I don't know if that's what people are going to get out of it, but you just never know. Like it's again, like I said, it's an unbiased platform. If you dope, you know what I mean. Why not collab with other dope people and just be that? You know what I mean? Like, and I think it's working because like when I post different artists, I noticed some artists are following each other off of that, and some artists are making connections with other artists off of that. Some artists never even heard of each other until Carcerts and shit like that. It's just to expand the community and also, make my contributions and the plan on creating a marketplace. Because there's a lot of regular civilians who only know the X, Y, and Z's and don't know the, what I mean, the other artists on in this realm exist.
Okay.
So,
What are you thinking about expanding like each of those brands on to like a different branch? Like, what are like some other things you want to like transpire or want to happen with each brand?
hell yeah, for sure. I see Liquor with Friends, and I haven't done enough episodes of it, but I see it, potentially being on like a big network. Um, and I also see Carcerts partnering with a big network too. Like I want to have a whole festival, but more or less not inside of the car. It's just the theme will be, implemented into the festivals. Um, like I don't know, like I really see this shit going real far for real. I really do. I never been so confident in something like this. So I know it's going to win. The only thing that can stop it is me.
All right.
Yeah.
What's one liquor you not bringing on Liquor with Friends because it might like really get you out of character? Like you gonna start. It's gonna just turn the episode too crazy for you.
Um, shit, man. I drink so much, I don't know what liquor gets me out of character.
Your season
I
drink.
would,
Okay.
I would probably say Hennessy because Hennessy just kind of it just has its own twist and effect, like different. Like I don't know, man. It just does something different to your membranes for real. I don't know. Maybe Hennessy, but I'm out for real. I ain't need to cut me a check. But now I would say Hennessy, but no, no. Let me tell you a sleeper though, of wine. It's not even the like the hard liquor. It's the wine because the alcohol is consumption is not as high. So and it's not you don't taste alcohol. You taste the flavor. You know what I mean? So I say the wine really, really like the Capriccio. Uh,
That thing. Mm.
yeah, it's like a Hennessy for wine for real. Like it really does that to you. Like yeah, I would say wine because that's something you sipping and then it just before you know it, things get silly.
All right. Last question. If you could do your own car search, or if somebody else was driving you, what would be your song, and who would be your driver?
Like, if I was to perform my music,
Or it could be your music or like your favorite song.
oh well, shit. Well, I would have my nephew drive. My nephew Alan, he would drive, and the song I would probably perform, shit, on some karaoke shit. I probably perform Jay Z, You Don't Know.
All right. Why
You
that
don't
song?
know what you're doing. That one.
Why
Yeah.
that
I'm
song?
an 80s baby, so
Okay.
yeah, yeah, so some of the yeah, I mean that song is off of the Blueprint. That shit came out when I was in the 10th grade, 2001.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
boss. Well, thank you for doing this interview with me. Um,
Thank you.